We're going to be going up, or down rather, Lee's Road. We're going to be talking about the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion. Some interesting stuff that happened way back in 2006. All right, welcome back to another Have Truck Will Travel. Today, as I said, man, Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion, the remaster, just dropped. Here we go again. At least it's not Skyrim. And man, do I got some stories about Oblivion. You know, I got my 360, I think about it in 2006, when it came out in 05. So 2006, I got the Xbox 360. The old man goes out, buys it for me. He was reckless like that. I had a terrible work ethic. I didn't earn shit. The old man, when he had money, he'd just throw stuff at me. So I was just a useless potato of a kid. However, when I got that 360, man, things changed. I got Call of Duty 2, I got Far Cry, and then Oblivion. And man, my cousin and I, like, you guys have no idea. Oblivion was the first game. Like, I had gotten addicted to games back then for sure. You know, with Halo 2, Halo 1, Grand Theft Auto. There was tons of games that were out back then, Battlefront. But Oblivion was the first one that felt next gen. Like, yeah, you had Gears of War coming out, but Oblivion was different, man. I'd never played a role-playing game. We had, like, Knights of the Old Republic before that, and it was nothing like what Oblivion did for me. Oblivion was nuts. There's Lee's Road. We're going to make it. Oblivion was absolutely crazy. And for the time, that game took my life, man. I always used to tell my cousin, I was always like, he would phone call me. Most people don't even know what the hell that is. Back when you had a landline, there was no cell phones yet. He'd call me on the phone. He'd be like, Brett, listen, I just found like a shield. It's worth 15,000 gold. I remember I didn't believe him. That was Perrye's shield. Didn't believe him. I was like, you're out of your fucking mind, dude. There's no way. He goes, no, pull up your map. This is we had the physical copies of the maps too. So he was like, all right, go to like the P on the map or whatever, and it's right there. So I go play it. Then I found it. Did the Daedric quest. Man, like, I played a lot of Skyrim and stuff, but like Oblivion, especially for my age, was like 12 or something. Like, I don't even think hundreds, maybe thousands of hours into Oblivion back then, just doing the goofiest stuff, beat the game 100. Like, it was absurd. So today, 20 years later, almost a 33-year-old grown man, excited for a game like that. This is awesome. And then don't forget, around that time as well, it's 2006, that's when you had the old man doing the Trojan suit. He'd gotten away from the bear suits, and then he was, I think this is just during, after, kind of in the middle of Fire Paste. This is when he had a lot going on. This was the golden era of innovations, is what I call it. That's when just hundreds of thousands of dollars was just flooding in. It was insane the amount of money he was making, and it felt like every single innovation he could conjure up was making money. You know, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Discovery Channel was on speed dial, and the whole time, you want to ask where I was sitting on my ass playing Oblivion. It's exactly what I was doing. Oh my God, I don't have the luxury of time anymore. This is one of the things that you lose as an adult. However, I can tell you right now, I saw a meme recently. It was probably on Instagram or something. It's the Apollo Creed Rocky one, where it's like, we're not those guys anymore. You know what I mean? They're having the argument, but the meme was they're talking about gamers. I am still that guy that at least one night a week I'm staying up until 3 a.m. I'm doing it. I am still hurting myself. We have rediscovered the joy of Red Bull recently, and just caffeinating. So we're staying hydrated, and then we're just popping copious amounts of Red Bull, which I'm sure are phenomenal for my health. But it's sugar-free now, guys. We're on the sugar-free Red Bull. So we're going to be playing some Oblivion tonight, and you would ask, what is the first thing that you're doing? Guys, listen, the OG race, the OG build was Khajiit with an archer. That's what I was doing back in 06. But then we evolved, and we started picking Orc. And he wasn't really an Orc barbarian. He was like an Orc smith, and he had a shield, and he had a sword. This time, though, we might do like a Conan build, but he's probably still going to be an Orc. So it'll be an Orc, light armor, probably a sword. We're going to go get the Umbra sword from the Clavicus Vile Daedric quest. We're going to talk about Oblivion a lot now on this channel. It's just going to completely diverge from In Search of an Answer. It's just Have Truck Will Travel, and it's me talking about Oblivion. So during the Clavicus Vial quest, people will know this. This is where you get the Rueful Axe or the Mask in Skyrim. Well, in Oblivion, you can still get the Mask of Clavicus Vial, which looks cool, but he tells you you've got to go kill this champion, Umbra, and Umbra has the Umbra sword. Cool thing you can do here is, I don't know if it's still like that. I would assume it is, but if you pick up quest items don't weigh anything. So one stupid little thing that I used to do back in the day was you go do the Umbra quest, you kill Umbra, you get the sword. Sword looked cool and it was super powerful, but it would weigh nothing because if you just never complete the quest, which is you betraying him because you're supposed to give him back the sword, right? And then if you don't, whatever. But if you don't complete the quest, you get a sword that's pretty sick and it weighs nothing. Man, I had every single glitch in that game memorized. I remember there was like the duplication glitch, and then you couldn't do it anymore with scrolls, but you could do it with arrows. Where like, oh my god, how is it? Someone needs to comment on this. Someone knows what I'm talking about. You could like strike the air, and then halfway through the animation you'd cancel it by pressing B, opening up the menu, and then you do something. My memory's foggy on it, it's been 20 years, but basically you'd either tap the scrolls or tap the arrows to equip or disequip, and depending on how many scrolls or arrows you had equipped, you would then drop the item you wanted to duplicate. So you could do this with like Azura's Star, right, which was the infinite black soul gem, and you could continuously refill it. You could just duplicate a bunch. You could duplicate anything. You could duplicate stupid stuff too and crash the game, like go into a store, duplicate 1,000,000 cheese wheels. Well, not 1,000,000, but you could duplicate a couple hundred of them. I remember that was like a run that I used to do. Start the game, go in, and then just start duplicating soul gems or something and have like 100,000 gold. There was the glitch where you could infinitely pickpocket someone's gold, and then depending on how high of a level you were, the gold would increase with your level. But then if you accidentally hit X to grab all of the gold, it would crash the game because it was infinite. Yeah, there's a lot of goofy stuff that you could do. I'm almost home now, but man, I'm so pumped. Like it's like it never went away. All of this useless information that I'll never actually need, just 1,000 hours of the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion downloaded to my brain. Other people that were out there. There was kids out there at the age of 11 and 12 doing things. They were trained to become Olympic athletes, or they were studying, or they were child prodigies. And then you have me writing stories, playing Oblivion, while the old man tinkers in the lab and just makes tons of money. He bought me. I had an Xbox 360. I had an Xbox original fan controller. I don't know if I have a 360 fan controller. Now that I think about it, I may have, but I might be misremembering. You remember the fan controllers you could get if you had sweaty hands? I had one for the PlayStation 2 and I had one for the Xbox as well. Oh my god. Shout out to anyone if you're old enough to remember the original Xbox's wireless controllers. Back when you had to plug this massive brick into the console, and then you had the wireless controller. And then you had to be careful back then because if you didn't shut your controller off, that didn't have auto off options, so you just burn the batteries. Yeah, we're going to transition this from Have Truck Will Travel into nostalgic gaming moments. And then with the release now of Oblivion Anniversary, or is it even Anniversary, or is it just Remaster? I got the Steelbook for Oblivion. I got 3 different copies. I got the original collector's edition. You could get Tiber Septim, you could get the coin and the book and all that. And then I got the Game of the Year edition. And then I remember my best friend and I don't even know what year this was, 2010, maybe. He goes, yo, the 5th anniversary of Oblivion is coming out. And it was basically the Game of the Year edition with a steel book. And I was like, oh, holy shit. And I didn't have a job at the time, but I don't know how I had money. So I had just enough money for this game somehow. And there wasn't many copies in Earth Bay. I swear to God, there's probably 20 copies in Earth Bay, and we were able to go grab one. So I got a steel book of Oblivion, and now we're gonna get the digital edition to this. Didn't pay for it though with Game Pass; it was free. So thank you, Game Pass. Oh my! Then we get all the DLC. We get Shivering Isles, Knights of the Nine, and then I would assume all the homes as well. There was like the Pirate Cove, the Vampire Lair, the Wizard Tower. There was the Orrery, which was a super cool area in the Mages Guild if you went through all that. And it was a nightmare to get into the Mages Guild. You had to go to every single city and do a stupid quest for every one of them to get a recommendation before the Mages Guild even started. Nah, I could never get into that quest. But the Thieves Guild quest line's much better in Oblivion. Like you become the Grey Fox and steal an Elder Scroll. Who wrote that? That's mechanically Skyrim's probably a better game. In fact, it is a better game, but it didn't have better quests or better writing. There was moments that were better in Skyrim for sure. Definitely 2011 I grew into my chair in that game for sure. I was just a fat blob, respectfully. Just a blob. And well, there's a lot of hype for Skyrim, but I feel like I'm more hyped now for Oblivion because I always said Oblivion was better. They lost something when they did Skyrim, and they streamlined it. And it wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but it just Oblivion feels like an old school RPG. Probably because it is, but it had that charm. Whereas like Dark Souls, you know what I mean? The Soulsborne games still have that charm as well, where you press the menu button and it's just screens, stats, and pages. I love that. They kept some of that in The Witcher as well. Oblivion was a good in-between, because apparently I never really played Morrowind, but Morrowind was just nuts and didn't hold your hand at all. And then Skyrim just told you what to go do very, very briefly. You know what I mean? Kill 5 bears. Okay. But Oblivion was the perfect in-between. And apparently with this one, we're getting even more Skyrim in it, but not in a bad way. So we'll see. They got rid of the janky leveling system. I like the old school leveling system where you were just locked in. Like, hey, if you just want to use a bow, but you don't have bow as one of your skills, doesn't matter. You're not leveling up. Screw you. It was so harsh. Super old school. So we'll see how it is. We'll see. Time is it? It's 5:19. I gotta wait. I gotta put the whole family to bed. Everybody's got to go to bed tonight. I gotta put the kids away, put the wife away, put the dog away, and then the games come out. And then we're gonna stay up late. I work tomorrow, so we're gonna feel this. We're gonna see it. It's like drinking. You know, I used to be able to drink a lot and you wouldn't get hungover. Now I can't drink at all. Now we'll see how it's like for gaming. I used to be able to stay up endlessly and it wouldn't hurt. Now, you know, now it hurts when you wake up. All right, that's it. Thanks, guys, for this very special edition of Have Truck Will Travel